I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Finally. I always daydreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. Higher to a bird. You, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the progressive news show that just don't give a damn. I am your host, Marlon Clyburn. Diaz Robinson will not be with us today. Tracy Carson of Tracy Carson Media will be with us later on today. As you can see by the title, we're going to get into some real controversial topics today, all the way to Foxy's videos of the week. So scrap in, because it's going to be one of those shows. But I just feel like it's something that just needs to be said. It needs to be done, and we need to just get it out there. Obviously, all of this is my opinion, but with the society that we're in these days, it really don't matter, because everybody's going to get pissed off if you disagree with them or not. So just give me a heads up. You should know me by now. You can disagree with me, disagree with me respectfully, just like I can disagree with you respectfully. Disrespectfully, you'll get the same results from me. So, before we even get started, if you're coming back to the show, welcome back. Appreciate your support. If you're new to the show, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. It will really help this channel out and to help this channel to grow. Let's see who we got in here already. I already read this. Well, wake me up when you started, Susan. I have absolutely no way of waking you up across seas. Not a clue how to do that. Kevin. Oh man, Kevin, if I knew you was gonna be on the show, I had a video for you, but I didn't know if you was gonna be on here. How we been doing this blessed evening, brothers and sisters. Kevin, I really wish I knew you was on here today. I have a video for you. We have to chat so I'll know when you are and are not on the when you are and are not gonna be on the show. Because I tell you, I had a video that was true to your heart. But so without further ado, you know what the drill is. Let's get this party started. So here's what's going to happen. I am going to give excerpts of what happened with Dave Chappelle's show. I don't have to go into what the situation is. Everybody by now know what the situation is. So I'm not going to waste everybody's time going through it again. And at the end of that topic, I am going to make the determination if the transgender community should or should not be upset with Dave Chappelle. If you're already upset with what I'm saying, then you're obviously not going to finish watching the show. Have a good one. If you are going to finish watching the show, finish watching to the end, and you'll understand exactly where I'm coming from. So to give you an idea of what I was saying, I put on Facebook what I was upset with Dave Chappelle, what I was upset with Dave Chappelle's statement. And I was upset with Dave Chappelle's only statement of saying that he is a TERF. He's team TERF. I want to separate, because I've heard this argument. I'm going to use this argument that everybody else uses too. First of all, when they said, well, he's a comedian, he was joking and everything, I'm going to show you what the joke is.
God, J.K. Rowling wrote all the Harry Potter books by herself. She sold so many books, the Bible worries about her. And they canceled her because she said in an interview, and this is not exactly what she said, but effectually, she said gender was a fact. And then the trans community got mad as shit. They started calling her a TERF.
So that went a little longer than what I meant it to be. The joke was that J.K. Rowling wrote so many of the Harry Potter books that the Bible is being threatened for being, the most read, the most published book out there. That was the joke. Period. That was the joke. Because everything that he says after that is his opinion. So we can stop he's a comedian and he gonna say stuff like that. Well, what he said at the beginning was the joke. Everything that he said afterwards was his opinion. And rightfully so, but it was his opinion. And for anybody that's writing and take my word for it, I will get with you in a second. Let me get through this real quick. So here is the second controversy of what people had an issue with and what I had an issue with.
TERF is an acronym. Stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. I'm Team TERF. I agree, man. Gender is a fact.
So when I posted on Facebook that was the only issue that I had with what Dave Chappelle said, I had certain backlash. Now, That was the only thing. And the problem that I was having was people was coming back to me was saying, but he was a comedian and he was saying this and he didn't say this. I even had some people that kept saying, that's not what he said. And I'm like, I just saw the video. That's exactly what he said. All the conversations ended it with, well, maybe I need to look up what TERF means. And I went, okay, so you didn't look up what I was saying was the issue. Nope. I need to look up what TERF means, and I'll get back with you. Nobody got back with me. But fine. I get that maybe that was the issue, that maybe you wasn't understanding where I was coming from. Because like I said, I wasn't upset with anything other than him saying he was Team TERF. That was it. Let me see what we got here. Some poor people got fired by Netflix over this. Some poor people got fired over this? Susan, I need a little bit more about that. Drew said, I love Dave Chappelle. Here is a funny thing about it, Drew, and thank you for coming. I'm not a Dave Chappelle stand-up person. I loved his show. I just never thought his stand-up was funny. And to each his own, I don't even have anything issue because, like I said, the Dave Chappelle show was the most funny, renovating TV show I have ever seen. What's up? What's up? Biting lover. Biting lover. Don't trust CNN. Yeah. That's a whole different subject, Drew. But anyway, so with that being said, that people was not understanding what I mean by I didn't like the idea of TERF, I was trying to find more information just to open up engagement of what TERF was. And I found videos of Jesse Gender or Gander? I think it's Gender. I found a video of Jesse Gender, who is a transgender, and she's explained a couple of things about TERF and why I feel the way I feel. So the first video is her explaining the transgender fear.
TERF's dogmatic focus on this idea that trans women are oppressors and predators, and trans men are victims without agency, is what lies at the root of their harm. It's not that they see the power structure system of men and oppressors and women as oppressed. It's that they see trans people as active, harmful agents in this fight, as if trans women specifically, who they see as their male oppressors, are directly trying to attack cisgender women by virtue of their being trans. And as a result, TERFs frame everything about transgender people in this active attacking and fear-mongering way.
All transsexuals rape women's bodies by reducing the real female form to an artifact, appropriating this body for themselves. However, the transsexually constructed lesbian feminist violates women's sexuality and spirit as well. Rape, although it is usually done by force, can also be accomplished by deception.
TERFs say things like, trans women are men and all men are rapists, therefore all trans women are rapists. I am so glad that TERFs understand the basic idea of math and the transitive property, but we're talking about a different type of trans. Maybe that's where they got things confused. One of the ways that they frame their fear-mongering tactics is that they argue that trans women are just men pretending to be women to invade women's spaces and harm women. We see this, for example, in one J.K. Rowling's essay, Robert Galbraith's essay, where she espoused and supported the TERF viewpoint and argument that allowing trans women into women's restrooms will let men pretend to be women in order to get into the women's restroom and rape them.
When you throw open the doors of bathrooms and changing rooms to any man who believes or feels he's a woman, and, as I've said, gender confirmation certificates may now be granted without any need for surgery or hormones, then you open the door to any and all men who wish to come inside. That is the simple truth.
Not sure.
So that's one excerpt of what TERFs believe in. I have no idea why they would believe in that, considering that we went through a summer of a lot of straight males attacking women. So I don't think, me personally, I don't think you have to dress up as a woman to have a chance to attack a woman. We've had a lot of straight men attacking women. Look at New York City. So that's just one situation that that they're talking about. I haven't seen it yet, but just told me. Okay. I don't think not approving of anything is a sign of phobia, though. That is the issue I have with all of this. What's good, by the way, man? Oh, who is that? Oh, Antonio. Chico, what's up, man? No, it's not. It is absolutely not. I totally agree with you 100%. Disagreeing with an issue doesn't make you into something else, so to speak. It takes a lot, which I will tell you by the end why I just did not like the idea of him saying he was Team Turf. What I feel that Chappelle was doing was agreeing with certain F's of what Turfs believe in. That's why I don't think he should have said I'm Team Turf without actually knowing what Team Turf really is. So yeah, I agree with you, Chico, that you can disagree with a certain thing without being a part of that group. Sorry, my queen, we need to watch it together tomorrow. I'll be back soon. Oh, Kevin, okay. You take care. Thank you for coming. That's ridiculous. That turf stuff just have sales and close the store. They'll try to make that more complicated than what it is. They'll break down the doors because they happen to get through the front door. It's complicated. But anyway, moving on. So we already got what their thoughts and beliefs are. So what is the harm of what their beliefs are?
So why does this all matter? Why do we need to discuss TERFs at all? Obviously we can see problems with their argumentation, but why are they such a big deal? Why does everyone keep discussing them? Well, it's because they are listened to and they can be extremely harmful, even to themselves. TERFs focus their activism and actions on attacking trans women's rights specifically. And this isn't supposition, that is their direct goal. Janice G. Raymond wrote in her 1989 book, The Transsexual Empire, one of the foundational texts for modern TERFs beliefs.
The problem with transsexualism would best be served by mandating it out of existence. I believe that the elimination of transsexualism is not best achieved by legislations prohibiting transsexual treatments and surgery, but rather by legislation that limits it.
You see, right at one of the main documents of their line of thought, the main goal that is spelled out for them wasn't just an intellectual one. It's not just one for the discourse, but they actually had clear political goals and outcomes. The intention of TERFs is not just to fight an ideological battle, but to have actual real-world ramifications for transgender people's daily lives. TERFs have long existed in feminist spaces even before the term TERF came into common usage in the early 2000s. In 1973, for example, Beth Elliott, a trans woman, was going to perform with her band at the 1973 West Coast Lesbian Feminist Conference. But she was protested both before and during her performance because she was a trans woman invading a women's-only space. Gender-critical groups throughout the 1970s threatened violence against trans women. The Michigan Women Folk Festival, a well-known women-only festival, refused to allow trans women to attend it until it ended in 2015. However, TERFs today have taken a slightly different and much more harmful form. First and foremost, TERFs are incredibly active in social media spaces like Twitter, Tumblr, and formerly on Reddit. According to researchers who study posts about trans people on social media platforms in the US and UK, up to 15% of posts about transgender people are actively abusive and anti-transgender online. On video streaming sites like YouTube, the one that we're on right here, 78% of such discussions about trans people were abusive. 78%. And a lot of this hatred is generated from TERFs. For example, when trans woman and Professor Grace Lavery posted an article about TERFs online, quote,
"It led to a massive explosion of online harassment, which I just didn't see coming at all. people in the seemingly hundreds started trying to find me and just write insulting things about me. And that escalated to the degree that it was
Okay, sorry I cut that off. I was getting tired and I couldn't put all of it in there. But you got the gist that they was attacking. Now I have to go backwards to go forwards because they're family. He specifically said that gender was a fact. He specified that part of it. That's what I heard. And then the next statement, did he start going into Team Turf only when he started speaking about men using the women's bathroom in North Carolina? I'm going to show you the video again because this is family, Chico and Tanya, who's my sister-in-law. But I'm going to show you the video because, like I said, I think people did not hear specifically when it... sorry, hold on 1 second here. Okay. Because I don't think people specifically heard it. And I'm Chico or Tanya, I'm not saying that you overheard this or anything else. What I'm saying is this is what I'm going to show you what he did specifically say.
TERF is an acronym. Stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist. I'm Team TERF. I agree, man. Gender is a fact.
So there he is. And what I'm saying is him agreeing to a portion. Because specifically, that's all he said he did agree with is gender is a fact. And what I also said and what Chico even said, just because you agree with a certain portion doesn't make you any that title. But he's forced it on him by saying, because I agree with this small portion of what it said, I'm Team TERF. That's the part I'm saying. Why would you say that? Why would you say you agree with the smallest portion of it without knowing the rest of the stuff that these people are doing? You can agree with it. And the only reason I even say that is because he could have said, I agree with J.K. Rowling. That sense is a fact. And left it at that. You didn't have to be Team TERF. You didn't have to, and they called her a TERF. Fine. But you could agree with her without saying, I'm Team TERF. Like me and my wife always say, you take things too far. So, last portion of this is the other harm that TERFs do to transgender people.
In the real world, TERFs actively work to try to dehumanize transgender people and work to push anti-transgender legislation. To name just a few examples, Sheila Jeffreys went before the UK Parliament in March 2018 to declare that trans women were parasites, dehumanizing language that frames transgender people as less than, as inhuman, in an effort to push anti-transgender legislation in the UK. The gender-critical group the Women's Liberation Front petitioned the U.S. Supreme Court in the U.S. in the case of Harris Funeral Homes vs. EEOC and Amy Stevens, where trans woman A.E. Stevens was fired for being transgendered. TERFs also, for example, recently helped back the court case of Korea Bell in the United Kingdom, which is currently led, as the time of this video, to effectively a ban on 16-year-olds being given access to puberty blockers across the United Kingdom, an essential and life-saving treatment that could help many young trans teens. And I've done a video on that already that you can check out up here somewhere. TERF's words, like those by J.K. Rowling, have also been cited by many lawmakers making anti-transgender legislation.
So, let me go through this. Foster said, I think Dave gave his opinion, and when you do that and have a certain platform that may or may not influence others, you're going to get backlash, especially if your opinion is not popular. Which I've already said before, you can look through all my other videos, just because your opinion is unpopular doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means it's unpopular. So I'm not saying what he believes in is wrong. Well, like I said, all I'm saying is I wish he never said he was Team TERF without actually understanding what that term and what that group mean. Basically, Team TERF is the KKK of transgenders. That's pretty much what that whole group is. Their whole mission is to wipe out transgender people by any means necessary. Wow, I knew nothing about this. Yeah, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't. They jumped to the conclusion of what he said, that one little small portion. And once again, like I said, as long as do the research before you jump in there is either offend or abuse the person that said it, which is what I did. Reminds me of women who chooses to be lesbians and then unites against hetero women, telling them they are not real women. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, gender is a fact, but that doesn't, because I see what you said, doesn't mean it's binary. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It doesn't. These days, with all different terminology, it's like they're having to learn what works and what doesn't. I can't speak for Dave, but I don't know what turf was. Um, and there you go, Foxy. It's basically the KKK of transgender community. So the bottom line is, I'm going to give you my answer of, do the transgender community have a right to be mad at Dave Chappelle for what he said? And my answer is, I have no freaking idea, because I'm not a transgender person. I have no idea how you should, and I'm not going to tell another group who's actually living that life who they should and should not be upset about what they did and did not say. I don't have that right to even do that. I'm not a transgender individual. I don't know transgender individuals, and even if I did know transgender individuals, I still don't know that. I'm still not living that life, so I don't have any right to tell them, hey, get over it, or hey, be upset. That's like anybody else who's not black or not minority trying to explain to me how a black joke should be funny and I should lighten up. No, I'm not going to allow you to dictate to me what is and is not funny for my race. And I'm not speaking for my whole race, but I am speaking as a black man, that you saying a racist joke towards black people that I not find funny, I'm going to say something because I am a black man living a black man's life. So for me to sit there and try to explain in the world, the transgender community, that it was just a joke, that you should get over it, that you're proving his point and all that, unless you're transgender, I have no idea why your opinion would be in play on this. You don't know. You really don't. Sorry, but not sorry, but you don't. Even if you was to say, I know transgender people, knowing them don't mean jack squat. You're not living that life. And I'll even explain it a little further by what something else Dave Chappelle said that I totally agree with. The one advantage that transgender people have is if you're white. Because if you're white and even transgender, you still can call the cops and feel relatively safe. Can't say that being a black person. Can't say that. And any white person that don't understand that, fully understand. You're a white person. I get it. But as a black person, we've seen it. We've seen the evidence of it. So my answer is, I don't have an answer to it because that's not my life. I am really more shocked that more people are not concerned with this joke and are getting molested by priests and liking it. I think it's strategic that way. Who said that? Chico. I actually think I am going to do a show on that, really. I really think I am. I really think that these little molesting of children in a Catholic church is like hills and valleys, is news and it's not news, and it's news and it's not news. Yeah. No. I don't think it's the KK. I do. I'm sorry. I have a habit, ladies and gentlemen, of not just reading stuff and not know who I'm talking. Tanya, I do. I do. No, if they don't, I have no idea what you meant by that, Chico. Uh, he's good. He's good friends with Rogan, and makes me start to wonder certain things. Explain, Kevin. And Chico's agreeing with Ty. So there it is. I don't think unless you are in the transgender, and like I said, my opinion, I don't think unless you're in the transgender community, you should ever sit there and try to explain to them what they should and should not be upset about it. That's it. I don't know anything about the Dave Chappelle had before, but as far as I could hear, he was being slightly pervasive. Like I said, Susan, I hate to even try to make light of it. I'm not making light of it when I say that literally was the only thing I did not like that he said. That's it. I agree. Literally, I agree with everything else that he did say. It was that one part, and it was at the beginning of this whole thing anyway. I agree with everything he said afterwards. I just did not agree with what he wanted to be Team Turf by agreeing with a small portion of what they believe in. I just don't like that. To say he exposed to transgender community to harm seems extreme. Yeah, okay. I see your point. I really do. I do see your point. It's like you got a pass if you're white, straight, and especially. Oh yeah, yes, totally agree. Who's it? I know. Yeah, Foxy, totally agree. Totally agree. That's something he said in his show too. Totally agree. That as long as white privilege exists in this country, gay, straight, transgender, whatever, you still have that privilege. You not sorry. You still have that privilege. But let's go on to our next story. Oh boy, these things are coming in real fast here. Unless it was by identifying as a TERF, because they do mean harm and promote harm. I agree, Susan. Like I said, that was the only thing that I didn't like, that he agreed with being a TERF. So let's move on to our next story. And this story is about Superman's son, John. So Future State is the new comic book that shows future superheroes of old school superheroes. There is a new Superman who is the son of Lois and Clark. New Batman, new Wonder Woman, you get the drift. Well, the new Superman, the son of the original Superman, is bisexual. As soon as I read that, as soon as I heard that, I knew it was going to be some crap. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, being here for 49 years on this earth, I knew it was going to be some crap coming out. We already got Fox News going. I wish they would take sexuality out of comic books, and one doesn't have anything to do with the other, which is funny to me since Batman has screwed pretty much every doggone female in Gotham. Nobody said nothing about that. You don't want sexuality on it. You just want to stick to the status quo of you like your superheroes to be straight. Dean Cain, however, took it to a slightly different mind frame.
So I don't think it's bold or brave or some crazy new direction. If they had done this 20 years ago, perhaps that would have been bold and brave. But brave would be having him, fighting for the rights of gay people in Iran, where they'll throw you off a building for the offense of being gay. They're talking about him fighting, real world problems like climate change, the deportation of refugees, and he'll be dating a hacktivist, whatever a hacktivist is. I don't know. But, Why don't they have him fight the injustices that created the refugees whose deportation he's protesting? That would be brave. I'd read that. Or fighting for the rights of women to attend school and have the ability to work and live, and boys not to be raped by men under the new warm and fuzzy Taliban. That would be brave. There's real evil in this world today, real corruption and government overreach, plenty of things to fight against, human trafficking, real actual slavery going on. It'd be brave to tackle those issues, shine a light on those issues. As far as, I'd like to see the character doing that. I read that comic. This one, I don't think I'll be reading. I could just watch CNN or MSNBC to get this information.
First of all, huh? I'm not getting... Okay, let's start at the very beginning. This is not new, and this is not brave, and this is not innovative. I would believe that if it was absolutely correct, because that's exactly what we're trying to get to. That's the point that we're trying to get to, that when you have a gay character, regardless of who it is, regardless of where they come from, that it's not seen as being brave and new and innovative or pushing the envelope or anything else. We'll just look at it as it is what it is. But we haven't gotten there yet. If you're literally still concerned about a new character being gay or a new character being, because everything that he said that is not new, you're a lie, and you just proved it. Because the second part he kept saying was he pointed out all these other things that this superhero could be fighting against, all this other stuff that this superhero could be doing. And my question is, what the hell is being bisexual would stop that superhero from still fighting against these things? Nothing. Nothing. And you're coming off as if, well, I guess that's the only brave and different thing he's going to do is be bisexual. He's not going to stop sex slaves in America because he's bisexual. He's not going to stop the deportation issues that's going on because he's bisexual. No. He can be bisexual and fight against oppression. Now, if you want to push the envelope, why don't you really push the envelope? Have Superman fight against voter suppression. Have Superman fight against police brutality. Have Superman fight for women's rights. That includes abortion rights. Have Superman fight against climate change. Then you can tell me that this is one of the greatest superheroes in the world because he's actually fighting against social injustices that are going on in the United States and in the world. Him being bi, fantastic. What else can you do? That is the point of where we need to be going with any character. With any character. That's great that you're gay. That's great that you're bisexual. That's great that you're transgender, which we have a superhero that is transgender. That's great. What else can you do? Because Superman being bisexual ain't doing jack squat against voter suppression, white supremacy, police brutality, climate change. It's just another thing to me. But I digress. Like I said, I knew it was going to be some BS, and the BS has started. Have fun with it. Dave and Joe's are close friends, brother. Oh, okay. Just saying. Okay. I called out my friends on their of hearing it. Yeah, it was gonna come. It was gonna come. They are beautiful drawings and very well done. It's mostly just hype, though exploiting sexual thing for a profit. And to be honest with you, the only thing that I will say, like I said, until we get to the point where this is not a big deal, I'm gonna agree with it that it is just a marketing ploy. It's just to push the envelope. And I had somebody who came back at me, and I have some. It's amazing to me. People will come to me secretly to give their grievances. And by the way, I'm fine with that. I have no issue with that at all. If you want to come to grievances that you know, if you say it online and everything, and it's going to be a big issue, please come to me. I will be happy to talk with you. And you, by now, if I don't know the answer, you're guaranteed that I am going to look it up. But I had to, somebody did text me and say, so Superman is bisexual now? I don't like that idea. I said, I don't understand why. Wonder Woman been bi for decades and nobody said blinked an eye. Wonder Woman ain't never been bisexual? I said, yeah, look it up. Her first lover was a woman. And they looked it up and I didn't hear from them. Yeah. Kind of have to look into that situation too. Me and a friend of ours, and I'll just throw this out here. Kind of have to look into the situation why you would have an issue with a bi male, but you wouldn't have an issue with a bi female. Just throwing that out there. Well, we as men are hypocritical when it comes to that. Yeah. Who said it? Yes. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure you just heard what I said. Yeah. We are hypocrites when it comes to stuff like that. Yep. Sexuality auto corrupt. Yeah, because best believe for a long period of time in comic books and things like that, they did make the gay community always seem like they was the bad guy, or they was the comic relief, or whatever. There was the background noise or what have you. So we're gonna move on, but yeah, I just want to give my 2 cents on that. That's what, if anything, we need to fight to do is to make being gay, being bi, whatever, being trans is not that big of a deal. That it is what it is, and we need more. All right. We got to do one more little thing, one little more BS little story right here. And unfortunately, part of the news. Tennessee, you something wrong with your state. Something wrong with y'all. Tennessee judge.
All right, well, in Tennessee, a judge under fire for illegally jailing black kids for watching a fight back in 2016. The alleged crime, listen to this, criminal responsibility of conduct of another. One of the problems, that's a fake law. News Nation's Gerald Harris at our Nashville station WKRN is live. So, Gerald, the judge just made up this law.
Yeah, Nicole, in 2016, lawmakers actually called for a federal investigation into the arrest and detainment of black elementary school students in Rutherford County. And now there's a renewed focus on the judge responsible for this jailing of those kids.
There has to be something done to everyone who was involved in this.
Donna Scott Davenport, the sole Rutherford County juvenile judge, is facing renewed scrutiny over a filter system, which allowed jail staff to determine when a child is released.
It's my understanding that they created a law that wasn't even on the books in order to make that happen.
According to a report from WPLN and ProPublica, Judge Davenport instituted a policy that all children charged with crimes be processed at the detention center. In 2016, 11 elementary school children were detained and or locked up after allegedly witnessing a fight between a 5- and 6-year-old.
That is horrible abuse of power. And I can't imagine, I mean, we have the administrative office of the courts. I believe they should take action and investigate.
The alleged crime, criminal responsibility for conduct of another, a fake law. Multiple Rutherford County commissioners say because of pending litigation, they cannot comment. In 2014, 48% of children were jailed under Judge Davenport's watch. The statewide average at the time was 5%.
We are letting kids fall through the cracks in all different ways. And this is just one more way we have discovered where DCS has dropped the ball. And they need to be looking closely at these programs to make sure that they are following our laws.
And in a settled lawsuit in 2017, Rutherford County agreed to pay each of the 11 children nearly $400,000, Nicole.
That's not Tennessee. That's child trafficking by the judge. She was earning money off those kids. Maybe. Or she may have just been a racist bastard. Or both. No respect at all. None whatsoever. I don't care if you become a judge. And I have proven this point time and time again. That being educated don't make you very smart. You're just educated. You're book smart and everything else. You can still be an a-hole. This judge is an a-hole. This judge, do you know how worthless? You know how worthless of a life that you are? It's one thing. Because trust me, it's bad. It's one thing to jail somebody under bogus law that you made up. It's another thing that you go out of your way to make that bogus law for the Black community. You on a totally different level of cruelty and a waste of human breath to jail children, to lie and come up with a law simply so you can jail children. And Susan, I get what you saying. All I'm saying is I don't give a damn if it was for the money or for the you was racist or you was both. You are a worthless piece of ish to sit there and jail children for whatever the reason that you coming up with that you want to use. Whatever reason that you want to do. You are a worthless piece of ish walking the face of this earth to even do something like that and sleep well at night. No respect at all, period, point blank. I don't give a damn what anybody say. She could have graduated cum laude from whatever college she had and everything else. You are a worthless piece of ish walking the face of the planet. I hope this don't stay on their record. Forget the money. They need to go to college and get a job. And by the way, I'm sorry, Tanya. By the way, the other thing is, if you really didn't think there was an issue with it, how come they get $400,000? So it is amazing. It is amazing only in America where you would think everything is okay to arrest anybody on anything, their class, their race, whatever. You could do all of this stuff and you find no issue with it until you go to court and for some reason they love to pay you off. But you didn't see anything wrong with what you did. Other than take somebody's life. And not even physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You have no issue doing this. None. You have no issue in whatsoever doing something like this. She failed her bar exam 3 or 4 times, so I don't know about smart. Yeah, but here's the thing, Susan. How the hell did she become a judge then? I mean, we do live in a society where Marjorie Taylor Greene is a freaking congressman. Boebert is a congressman. And those are the two walking blitter idiots I ever met in my life. I'm not trying to disrespect them. I literally listen to stuff that they've said. Welcome to America. You know what? I'm done with all the heavy stuff. That's it. No more comments on the heavy stuff. I'm done. I want to have some fun, and I am going to have some fun. So we're going to take a short break. We are going to have some fun. We are going to get into some ish. We're going to laugh a little bit. Tracy Carson will be coming up in a few seconds. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back. And anybody that's going to get a bathroom break or drink, trust me, this is going to be short, sweet, to the point, because it's not going to be as low as normal. So stay tuned. See you on the other side.
I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally. I always daydreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, higher to a bird. You, I'm right.
Oh man, thought I had everything. Hey, don't try to take your blood blanket off now.
No, I'm putting it back on. But my head looks super big.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that I have to even adjust my camera and slide it over a little bit. Tracy Carson Media is in the house. We are going to get started.
Yep. And everybody, I'm going to keep this blanket on because it's 40 degrees and I will not turn the heat on.
Wow. Rest in peace, Floyd. Thank you. That was rough, Tracy.
Yeah, you had a lot to talk about.
That was rough. But we done. We finna get into some fun. Fotsy's videos of the week. Now, this first video was chosen because somebody popped in my head when I saw it, and I could see them going through the whole thing, through the thinking process, and that's what it is. It's a thinking process. I can see somebody going through this. So there you go.
They got this TikTok going around where it say Alpha Kenny body. I'm not getting it. It says Alpha Kenny body. Alpha Kenny body. Alpha Kenny body. I'm not getting it, y'all. Alpha Kenny body. 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 I need some fucking help. Alpha Kenny body. 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 Alpha Kenny body, bitch. Alpha Kenny body. Alpha Kenny body. Alpha Kenny body. Alpha Kenny body.
Please tell me nobody else missed that.
I missed it because I'm like, Alpha Kenny. I kept saying it. I'm like, Alpha Kenny. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough day. I spent all day in the laundromat, so I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm going to get it, but I'm going to need some help.
Just.
Hi, Susan.
Oh, I don't even know how to explain it without actually saying what exactly it is.
Just say exactly what it is, because I feel like I'm not getting it.
Alpha Kenny body.
Yeah, that's just Alpha Kenny body. I'm still not getting it.
Just say Al. Kenny body. Now break it down.
Okay. Yeah, it's a slow day. It's a real slow day for me.
I was like, oh, please tell me nobody missing this, because please, it would be so hard to try to break this down any further.
Hey, I still don't understand the red flags that people were putting as their status. I'm like, huh?
I'm here. Oh, Lord. No, Susan. No. She knew what she was. You know what, Susan? I kind of think the last 4 or 5 times she said it, I think she did. I think she did start figuring out exactly what it was that she was trying to say, or what it was saying. Because it was like she was saying it like way too many times. So yeah, I'm with you, Susan. I think she at a certain point she did know what she was saying, and she was just enjoying saying it. All right, next video. Riddle.
You can get this one. You got it. All right. Mr. and Mrs. Ketchup have 6 daughters.
Okay.
Right? Mr. and Mrs. Ketchup has 6 daughters. Each daughter has 1 brother. How many are there in their total family?
If you said 6 daughters?
Mm-hmm.
And each got a brother?
Mm-hmm.
12. If it's 6 daughters and they each got a brother, 12, right? 12 altogether.
How many are in their total family? Mr. and Mrs. Ketchup.
Okay. Oh, bless them. 14.
Oh. It's the laughing from you, yo. One more time. Mr. and Mrs. Ketchup have 6 daughters.
6 daughters.
Each daughter has 1 brother.
Plus them.
How many are in their total family?
Okay. Them 2, 6 daughters, and 1 brother.
Mafia, give me your answer. Don't say nothing about how crazy that is and everything else. Give me your answer.
I think I know what it is.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 6.
No.
It's not 6?
No.
Because how do you know that they the brothers, like, what are they?
And 7, Susan? No. First of all, count the parents.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the parents. So that's 8.
And still no.
8 is not right either?
Nope.
Well, what's the doggone answer?
Okay. The sister, there are 6 sisters.
Yes.
The sisters each have a brother.
Yes.
So, how many is in the family total?
I would have went with the first girl said 14, but she said no.
It's no. Here is how you figure it out. And I don't understand. And I explained it to my my wife, so I'm gonna say it the same way to you. My wife's mother has 2 daughters and a son. So how many children is that?
2 daughters and a son is 3.
Okay. So how many? So the first sister has how many brothers?
She would have none.
Yes, she would. Have
If
the
she's got 2 daughters and a son,
son.
she would have one
The,
brother. Okay, she'd have one brother.
the second daughter would have how many brothers?
She would have one brother because there's only one brother.
So 6 sisters have how many brothers?
It's okay. They got one brother.
Count
So
the
it's
two-
okay.
9.
So it's 13. Okay, so it's 6 plus 1, which is 7, plus 2. That's 9.
9.
'Cause-
But it's 9. Yep, Susan. And what it is they keep saying each sister has a brother. That's true. Every sister in there does have a brother. A brother. One.
But
Same
the way
brother.
they were saying it, you would have thought each of them had
Each
one
of
brother
them
each.
had a brother. Could you
But
shout
it's
out my
only
buddy
one
Eric
brother.
Sean from Chicago? Eric Sean from Chicago, what's up? I hope he's a good person though, because I hate to say what's up, Eric, and he's not. But Brian, you would know. So yes, the answer is 9. I knew that was going to be a good one. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I do have another story. I didn't want to miss it. It's not bad, so to speak. It's just, kind of a story. But let me get through these real quick. And the last 2 is kind of quick.
What is he training for? Should I be training? Because I'm not.
I was asking the same question. I'm like, what is he training for?
I don't know. Whatever he's training for, he's going to win.
He went hardcore on it. I'm like, dude, okay.
Whatever he is training for, whatever it is that he's finna fight, he's finna win. Guarantee you that.
Got that sword all out there. I'm like, well, you better hope the police don't ride by.
Somebody did drop. I had another video of him, and somebody drove by and said something, but I couldn't understand what he was saying, so I didn't want to show that video because I couldn't understand what they were saying, and I didn't want anybody to say, "What the hell is he saying?" I don't know. So, last video.
Let's test my spice limit again. Fresno pepper. Tacos. Han. Serrano. Habanero sauce. Blue Taki dust. No reaction.
There are so many things in this world that people could do with their free time. They could volunteer in a soup kitchen. They could read to the small children. They could give clothes to the homeless. But this young man chose to stuff peppers down his throat. What is wrong with people today?
I got 3 things. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm like, you wasted all of that for what? What was the purpose of that? I thought he was gonna vomit. I'm like, okay, he's going to vomit. He's going to vomit. He's going to vomit. Nope, he didn't.
I put them in 3 categories. It's one of the 3. either he's that type of person, and yeah, there are type of people where hot stuff just don't bother them. I knew one of my friends from high school. He was like that. No hot stuff would bother him, and I mean hot spicy foods or hot food period, like pizza that's straight out of the oven. He would go right into it. Didn't bother him at all. Or the stuff is fake. Whatever he put on there and everything was not real. It was just fake stuff made up. Or he has COVID and he don't have any taste buds anyway. So none of this was going to bother him. Susan said, as soon as I get some money, I'm going to learn Krav Maga. Won't need a stick. I always did want to learn Krav Maga my own self. I always did want to learn that. I think I'm a little too much of the age to try now. There are people who don't feel pain. It's a genetic thing. There's people who just don't. It's people who just don't feel.
Shoot, I pulled
pain
a
tolerance
nail.
is
Look at what
not
I
as
did to my
big.
nail. I was clipping my nail and it just went bleed. I'm like, oh gosh, it still hurts.
But it's people who just don't feel pain the same way as
Then
everybody
he gonna
else.
drink a Cheeto Mountain Dew. I'm like, oh okay, now you just taking this too far.
There's some people like that, Tracy. All right, let me get to this story real quick.
Wait a minute, you forgot a video. What about the one that I sent you?
I couldn't get it in time. I tried. I couldn't get it up in time. I tried my best. I just couldn't find it. I mean, I found it. I just couldn't get it up in time. Sorry. I'll do my best to get it up next week. I remember this video that you like. I remember the part that you want me to cut out. I just really forgot to put it in there.
Yeah, y'all wait till y'all see this. Whoo-wee. He gonna give you joy. Joy.
But let me read this story real quick. Then we'll call it a day. And it is the woman who sued GEICO for $1 million after contracting STD during car sex. A Missouri woman is suing GEICO for $1 million after claiming that she had sex and contributed and received an STD from a man in a car that was covered by the insurance provider. According to Daily Mail, the woman, who is identified as M.O., is in court papers, claimed she and her then partner, identified as M.B., had unprotected sex in a 2014 Honda Genesis in late 2012. I'm sorry, in late 2017, sorry. In 2018, M.O. was diagnosed with HPV, which she claims she contracted during the car rendezvous. The woman has now submitted a coverage claim to GEICO for $1 million because the vehicle, which is under MB's name, is insured by the company. However, on October 4th, Baller Alert reported GEICO claiming the lawsuit's a sham and they are filing their own countersuit. According to Daily Mail, M.O. entered legal talks in 2018 with M.B. without the company's knowledge. The two reportedly reached an agreement in a state court that allowed M.O. to collect $5.2 million, which she can, if at all, only from GEICO, court documents show. With her latest lawsuit, the woman is now seeking an additional $1 million from the company. GEICO is now countersued with the U.S. District Court for the District of Kansas, asking to have the eyebrow-raising lawsuit thrown out. And there you go. Because I have no words. I've read this like several times and just like, wow. Y'all.
I don't even know where to start on this. I could see her suing the boyfriend who she got the STD from. That would make somewhat sense for her to sue him if he didn't tell her.
Yeah.
But this genius somehow thinks because the car was insured by GEICO, not only is she going for this 5.2, now she's adding $1 million. Girl, sit down.
And that's why I said to my wife, is like, this title is not real. because she really is suing for $6.2 million. Regardless of how you put it, and you want the first $5.2 million is still coming from GEICO. You personally is suing for $1 million, but grand total is 6.2. All of it's BS, by the way. Don't get me wrong. All of it is. But by all accounts, it is $6.2 million that this woman is suing. And you know you're not going to get it because you had to go into this secret court case to get the 5.2.
How did she even get the 5.2?
She didn't. She is agreeing with MB. I think that's the guy. She is agreeing with MB that they are going to sue GEICO, and I could be completely wrong. I'm not an attorney. That they're going to sue GEICO, and the only way. So even if she was to say, so even if the court papers say I am suing MB, I'm going to sue MB. So Tracy, I am going to sue you, but behind scenes, the only way that I'm going to receive the money from you is you receiving the money from GEICO. So either way, I'm getting the money from GEICO.
You know what? This is why people think Americans are stupid. This is it. This is exactly why people think Americans are stupid. How did she even determine that GEICO? Girl, you the one had car sex with a man that you didn't have enough sense to go down to the free clinic and get tested for STDs. That's your fault.
Yep.
Yep, Susan, they sure do.
Okay, here. I don't want to get on my soapbox.
Oh, get on it, please, because I'm already on it. I'm ready to go.
You still having sex in the car? Where's my second question is going to be? Which one of y'all was married?
Oh yeah, you already hurt somebody's feelings out there.
I'm just asking the question. Which one of y'all married? That y'all having sex in the car?
Obviously, they weren't married to each other.
Oh, I know that. I know that. And whatever it is that you're gonna have, you. That's my show for the day. I'm done. I'm tired of y'all. So, as y'all can see, we're an hour and 15 minutes into the show, and the show is already done. I appreciate everybody coming, but I'm giving you a fair warning that this ain't gonna happen next week because Thea Robinson will be back. So enjoy this short show. Just letting you know, enjoy it because this ain't gonna happen next week. Giving y'all the heads up. Hold on. In cases like that, it's about the company avoiding publicity. I would have took to publicity. You ain't getting my money.
I don't blame GEICO for countersuing. Just like, you know what? This reminds me of that lady that sued McDonald's because the hot coffee spilled. You know coffee's hot.
That is an entirely different issue. That is not the same.
It's exactly frivolous.
It's not. It wasn't a frivolous lawsuit.
She knew that coffee was hot.
Okay. Tracy ain't gonna let me get off. So here we go.
No, that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
So I've already done a podcast today.
The McDonald's coffee incident was that the McDonald's coffee was overly hot. It was steaming hot, and McDonald's knew that it was overly hot. The coffee spilled in her lap actually gave her third-degree burns to her genitals. And what happened was that she actually sued McDonald's for just compensation for the skin graft of her surgery, and McDonald's told her to beat it. On top of that, these blithering idiots who were so smart, they like the NFL, they put in an email. The corporate people back and forth in an email told each other, yeah, we know the coffee is overly heated, but our customers enjoy that, so it's worth the risk of a lawsuit. Somebody leaked that email. That's what she sued for. That's what she got the money for. That's the story they don't tell you. So it is not she spilled coffee and sued McDonald's for $1 million. No, it was. And by the way, this took over some years for this to happen. So everybody keep thinking she spilled coffee and went straight to the courthouse and sued. No, it was way deeper than that. But they like to just have people think, oh no, she just spilled coffee and she walked across the street straight to the courthouse and sued McDonald's. No, she wasn't even greedy when she said, just pay for the skin graft. You knew that the coffee was hotter than lava. And then the email pretty much proved that, yeah, our coffee is as hot as lava, but we'll take the chance.
Well, I learn something new every day.
Yeah, it was deeper. It was way deeper than that. They like, and it ain't your fault, Tracy, because guarantee you the part that you read about her suing McDonald's because she spilled coffee was the end result of it. Because they love to sit there and go, people sue for anything. They sue for it. That was the point. That was literally the point of the whole thing. Was people sue for anything. So when you sue for something that's legitimate, you'll be looked at as you just sue for anything just to get money. This woman went through hell. Literally, she did go through hell. This right here, as a matter of fact, the money that she did get, she did not even ask for that money. She asked for a certain amount of money that was lower than what was rewarded to her. It wasn't. If McDonald's would have given her the money that she needed to cover the surgery that she had to have, this would have been a non-story. This would have been over with. But no, they're greedy a-holes who just said, you're all right. You're okay. You're fine. So yeah, it was the point of that story to say, can I talk about how sex toy manufacturers exploit men?
I always thought they exploited women.
I always thought they exploited women.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Why would they exploit? Yeah, hey, Vias Jr. So, can we exploit men?
That's a job to put on a resume. Where'd you work? A sex toy company.
You know somebody did. Okay, I'll bite. How do it exploit men? I would get the women. I got that. I don't get the men. And by the way, I think I still have it on here. Doggone it, I don't. The Simpsons that comes on every Thursday. Good friends of mine, they have the real relationship with the Simpsons. They had an episode specifically on sex toys. And the question was given, should a man be offended if sex toys is introduced in the bedroom? And it went through the whole gamut. This is not that type of show, so I'm not even going to throw that out there for everybody, but I guarantee now that I threw that question out there, I can't wait to see the comments.
I'm reading.
Wait a minute. As a matter of fact, let me throw this back out here. Yeah, leave a comment because I guarantee you this is going to have some good comments coming on that question. But yeah, that was one of the questions was should men be offended with that being introduced in the bedroom? I'm not going to give my answer. Hold on. Don't put your poodles in the microwave. You'll avoid the warmth. Susan, it's time for you.
Gosh,
Susan, it's time for you to go to work.
Now looky here.
I didn't know that about the McDonald's thing. Yeah, that was the point. That was literally the point.
I'm like, huh? What?
That was the point of the matter. They literally, and by the way, the other reason they did is to change the torque laws. That you just can't. to change the tort laws, you have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're trying to lower the standards of suing somebody. So you try to make the tort laws a little tougher for you to sue industries, companies, whatever. So that's why they made it so lackluster that she spilled a little bit of coffee and burned herself. So it's sort of like,
But she is the reason why McDonald's has their coffee now. It says hot right on that little thing.
Yeah.
Hot.
And like I said, they wouldn't tell you the fact that, but the fact of the matter is that the coffee was extremely hot. In other words, it was abnormally hot. So there's a difference between hot coffee. Everybody wants hot coffee unless you like iced coffee, which in other words, yuck.
Iced coffee is good. I don't know what you're talking about.
Disgusting.
Ooh, yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that they made it extremely hot, and the fact of the matter is that they knew it. They knew it. The idiots put in an email that, yeah, we like it. I know it is aggressively hot, but that's what our customers like, and it's worth the lawsuit. So they knew it was going to cause damage eventually. McDonald's exploited her for sympathy. Yep.
They burgers ain't that good.
Yeah, it was just a simple fact that they wanted to make sure that, hey, this ain't that big of a deal, and she just sued her from out of nowhere, and blah, 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 and everything else. They just made a bigger deal than what it was. Some of the most popular sex toys for men are for do-it-yourself. They spend a lot of money to be lonely and have no human relationship. These toys are cheap crap that they make a lot of money.
Susan, are you talking about the blow-up dolls?
I don't know, because ain't no...
Because I'm like, well, that's the only toy I know. Like, I know.
I don't know, because ain't no sex toy on the face of the planet going to replace a woman, so... Susan, this is my only pushback on the sex toy industry. Do you, boo-boo. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I have no say-so one way or the other. But if you're using it to replace a woman...
Or a man.
I'm sorry. I don't know where you're coming from. Because it's not. It's replacing the act of having a man or a woman. That's whatever. The funny thing about it is, if you're happy with replacing the act of a man or a woman, then what kind of life did you have to begin with? It's not replacing a man or a woman. It's replacing a sexual act, which is a portion of being with a man or a woman, but it's not the whole freaking thing at all. And that would be said up in the end of the show.
You teetered on 1:30. I'm like, okay, let's go.
No, it's still early. You know it's earlier than normal. So
I know. That's why I'm trying to get like, okay.
No, here's the funny thing, Tracy. Even if I was to push this to 2 hours, I'll still be getting off early. So again, don't nobody get happy. It ain't that kind of show. Things will be back next week. Grab your coffee. So let me say this real quick, that this has been a deep philosophical, however you want to say it, show. We have ran the gambit of emotions and opinions and racism, if you feel like that, biasy, if you feel like that, homophobic tendencies, if you feel like that. And I know I'm going to get some pushback on it. It is what it is. People have to be mad about something. We all know that. Normally, everybody go be prepared for me to play the FU video of, and I'm not going to play that video at this time because I have a new video.
I fucking do not give a fuck, I really fucking don't. You think that I'll be giving a fuck and then I fucking won't. If you ask me how many fucks I give, I'll tell you fucking none. And then I'll say fuck off, fuck everything, fuck everyone. So next time you give fucking two shits about anything, just calm your shit and do not give any fucking fucks like me.
You should know me by now, Tracy. You should know by now. All right, Susan, this is the last comment, and we getting up out of here. Sex toys are no replacement for another human being, but they can enhance sex. And I am kinky, so some of my sex toys are pretty weird. Susan, hold all of that thought to next
That is
week.
TMI. See, we don't even know all of that.
Yeah, but Susan is family now, so hey.
Oh well, yeah. It's some things that Tracy don't need to. I don't need to know. I just don't.
She wrap a blanket around her like she's 90 years old.
Because it's 40 degrees.
40 years at and I'm not turning the heater. I know.
Hey, you want to pay this gas bill? I will turn it on, but I'm
No,
not.
because I don't have gas at my house.
Mm-mm.
Everything is electric.
Will not turn the gas on. And I'm going to go get another blanket as soon as I go to bed.
Thank you, Susan. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for the support. Please do not forget to hit that like button on the way out the door. If you are new to the show, please do not forget to subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you when we see you. Peace.